Well, she did it again. Brittany Force is now the queen of speed. I don't think anybody is going to break this record. And I don't even think that she'll break this record again. I don't think so. She may. It's possible. She's just a phenomenal drag racer. This young lady, she broke her record twice. Her own record last week in Seattle. How do you do that? All right, but anyway, this time she has the all-time, well, she had it before. She had the national speed record when she broke her own record last week. Now she really did it. She went by, her record was 341 miles an hour in Seattle. She bypassed 342 in Sonoma this time. She went 343.16 miles per hour at 3:6:45 elapsed time. Incredible. She's unstoppable. She just needs to start getting some wallies is what she needs to do. Anyway, yes, I start to get a little excited this time of year because I got 4 weeks before I go to Indianapolis U.S. Nationals. I go every year. So anyway, we're not going to hold this up anymore. Let's take a look-see and see what this lady did in this race. Let's go.
And as much as we were anticipating potential out of Austin Prock and Jack Beckman, I think the world is anticipating something out of the Monster Energy car.
It's hard to not.
Right. This is the problem. You raise the expectations.
Well, they've normalized it. The 340 has been normalized. It's happened in multiple tracks. It's happened on multiple coasts. It's just about whether or not they're able to hit it in this certain circumstance. But I think it's great for race fans to be able to come and anticipate a happening. Will it happen? Will we see it? Will we see history?
Well, look, fans they like the deep ball. You know, they don't want the short, out pattern 5-yard gains. They want to see the 80-yard pass, and this is what this team brings to you.
You don't appreciate a nice double switch?
Look, a bloop single to the right is nice every now and again, but somebody hits one 500 feet into the upper deck tends to get people a little more wound up.
Yeah, we like power.
Good looking hot rod here for Tony Stewart, the Mobile One red, white, and blue livery.
Tony
is looking
Stewart.
tight.
Let's go down to the starting line, Jason Galvin.
And Joe, to your point of normalizing 340, I talked to David Grubnick about the differences from their record runs last week to this week. He said, if anything, the track here at Sonoma, he believes is a better track surface to try to generate those speeds. And his job is simply to get the car past 60 feet. If it does, it will do the rest.
You can see the track record of 364.9. Now, Doug Coletta is waiting in the next pair. So we have, there's another layer to this cake to be baked, so to speak. But Tony, when we talk about it, what is the make or break difference? Is it clutch weight? What is that make or break difference in the first 60 feet on a night like this?
Well, when it cools off, the power really comes to the motor. I mean, it'll increase the power without the tuner doing anything. The tuner has to balance it. He's going to change the clutch setup. They put new tires, a shorter tire. But you notice they've taken off those side kick-out wings. They do on this car. They want to take advantage. They want to reduce the drag. You look over at Tony Stewart's car, they keep them on, so it's a different approach.
Brittany's past the 8 mile. Brittany Force goes across 343! 343 miles an hour! Holy Christmas! 364.5 at 343.16 miles an hour. Where does it end?
Unbelievable. Sometimes you anticipate, you hope, and you are rewarded. 343.16, the fastest speed in the history of drag racing.
That is smoking
Let's go
right
down
there.
to the starting line to Jason Galvin.
With David Grubnick, and they're setting speed records, and then there's 343 miles per hour. Where does that come from?
The engine. Right now, we're happy with that. But I was hoping for a little bit more ET out of it. We'll have to look and see what our early numbers were. what's important to us is winning rounds and getting another championship for Brittany. So that's where we're going to put all our focus on. But, that's a little bit of icing on the cake.
304.94 miles an hour in the 8th mile.
That's another record right there.
Just look at it.
Yeah, we're all
Jordan
speechless.
Vandergrift with John Force. Jordan is hunting down John Force. Well, he does that though, Joe. This is
819 down low for David.
fantasy land.
819 down low. But the number that matters that you just mentioned, just in terms of building momentum, 304.94 to the 8th mile. Let's go back downstairs to Jordan Vandergrift.
It was
who's caught up
305.
with the GOAT.
John Force, your daughter Brittany Force, just went 343 miles per hour. Did you ever think a speed like that was possible?
Well, it makes me a little nervous, but great crowd here tonight, great conditions, and the girl got it done.
Hear the crowd.
Just for a second here, I want to stop. John Force. He's always hyper. He is really kind of laid back right there. Something changed in him from his accident. Because usually he's jumping up and down, you can't shut him up. Yada, 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 yada. But he was just so mellow and really didn't seem to be all that excited. Maybe he's medication, I don't know. It's just odd to see him be so laid back without being excited. That's really odd.
Crowd going crazy for John.
Yes.
John's on the screen. It's like Force is on the screen. They start going nuts. Way to pay tribute, Sonoma. Great job.
Well, they like the speed, but they love John Force because that's what the reaction from is John Force speaking those words.
Yes.
It is.
2 miles an hour means nothing to you. 343. I don't even have a question for this. It's stunning. Let us know what went down.
Little
Thank
blonde
you. This
monster.
Is, David Grubnick, John Collins, this Monster Energy team. They've worked so hard. I'm incredibly proud of these guys. They're insane. That mile per hour, they told me on the radio, and I'm like, I must be hearing them wrong. I'm going to wait till I get down to the top end. But that is just outstanding for this team. We're so pumped to have a mile per hour, to have a time slip that says that. It's pretty awesome.
And by half track, could you tell it was going down? Does it feel different in the car?
Yeah, I could tell from, just... It's also nighttime, so it's, everything, your view, everything is a little bit different. And it kept wanting to pull me towards the center line, and I thought, nope, I'm hanging on to this thing until we get to that finish line. And it kept moving around a little bit, but we got it there, and then they told me on the radio.
Man, spectacular. The whole world's eyes are on you.
Thank you.
She's the queen of speed.
That uncontested.
Exactly.
We like to throw out names and come up with monikers, but she is the queen of speed worldwide. There is no one faster. Side-by-side racing of any kind.
She is.
Consistent 340-mile-per-hour performances.
Well, this run really kicks into high gear at the 8th mile. To run 304 miles an hour, they really crushed that 8th mile speed by a few miles an hour. The tuner, David Grubnick, he says they want ET. That's what win races. But with this kind of fine-tuning with the fuel system, the wins are going to come. 343 miles an hour. That means the power's there. He's finally tuned the fuel system. Everything in the engine, the clutch is in sync. And when they figure out how to accelerate this car slightly better early in the run, that's when they gain a competitive edge.
The thing that is mind-boggling is we're going to watch this run again because why shouldn't we? It's the Mona Lisa of drag racing.
Yeah.
Watch the control, the amount of control that tire is under. That tire is not trying to shake. It's not trying to do anything. It is making what is effectively the perfect amount of wheel speed.
Well, it's got the right amount of wheel speed. It is accelerating. There's no shake. There's no rattle. You can see some of the electrode off of the spark plug, and that's standard. Unless they have new header pipes, it'll actually shoot out some of that debris. But you can see how the header flames just lay back, and that's an indication that this thing is cooking.
Just a stunning performance. I would never have guessed we would have jumped right over 342 miles per hour.
You were sitting there at 86. You were sitting there at 86 at Gainesville when Garland's goes 272, and that was the fastest speed ever.
I saw 272. I saw Kenny Bernstein go over 270. I've been there for a lot of the milestones because they used to happen at the Gator Nationals, just random luck. But this is a stunner and the fastest ever to this point.
Her car moved to the inside. It wanted to drift towards the inside. She made a good correction, a lot like Antron did in the other lane, and that could have been a saving run move.
The most epic scoreboard shot in top fuel history. You might not be shocked to learn that. So we can dig into that, Clay. We can dig into that, as you can see Brittany on the back of the tow vehicle there.
Letting
We're
it
going to
sink
get a
in.
look at the qualifying order and the quickest 8 cars in top fuel. And I stress quickest because, look at this. 364.5. Coletta's at 366.1. Milligan, Brown, Stewart, Hart, Zetterstrom, and Ashley are your quick 8.
Well, I know. The fastest woman on the planet in drag racing, I should say, because, those land speed records, they're way up there. But anyway, Brittany Force, the little blonde monster. I don't think anybody's going to touch that. 343. And that's in 1,000 feet. Now, if it were the quarter mile, which gives it another couple hundred feet, I think 1360 is a quarter mile, and they're only going 1,000. Yeah, they could hit 350, but I don't think the car can handle it. It might start to come apart. That would be rather dangerous. But I mean, they're pushing 11,000 horsepower, 12,000 horsepower. That's a lot. When you can do in an eighth mile, let's see, that's about 600 feet roughly. If you can do 304 miles an hour in 600 feet from a dead standstill, that is moving. The G-force and everything is there. It's just incredible, the power that it has. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Leave me some comments. I do appreciate it. Smash the like button. I appreciate that as well. And like always, see you in the next video. Enjoy. See ya.